Dear students, my name is Dr. Marie Hastings-Tolsma, and this is the Nursing 6010 Nursing Theory for the summer. This is just a short video to welcome you to the course and to give you just a little bit of overview and context for what we will be doing. For many of you, I know from reading some of the bios, this is your first time with Canvas, and I'd like to say that I'm proficient at Canvas, but that's not necessarily the case. I want to encourage you to call the help desk, the Canvas help desk, which is available when you get onto the Canvas login site. 9 times out of 10, Canvas can answer and give you directions that I can't give you. So if you have any problems uploading assignments, accessing, responding, etc., your best bet is to email or contact the Canvas folks. And certainly if you contact me, I'll try to help you, but often I'll just tell you to contact Canvas. So that's the reason, as I'm not necessarily so great. Just a little bit about me. I have my bio in the course, but I've taught, I was away for 2012-13 in Africa on a Fulbright scholarship doing research in South Africa on herbs and used for cervical ripening. That's my area of research and interest. And since coming back, I've been teaching nursing theory online. And I love nursing theory, so I hope we're going to have a lot of fun this summer learning and exploring some of the advantages and opportunities that nursing theory can offer us. This class goes quickly. Summer course is good and it's bad. The good part is it moves quickly and you're in and out. Now the bad part is you've got a lot of content to cover in about 7 weeks, and so you almost can't miss a beat. While I never mind offering students the advantage or the opportunity, I should say, of negotiating differences in deadlines, you do need to do that in advance. So if you know a deadline is going to be a problem, get a hold of me in advance and ask me, can I submit it later or whatever. It's almost never a problem, but doing it after the fact is not something that will work very well. This course ends at the end of July, and so as I mentioned before, we've got a lot of material to cover in a very short time. In terms of the assignments that we're going to be doing this semester, a heavy component for you will be looking at discussion boards. Discussion postings don't need to be long. They can be very short and succinct. Usually 1 to 2 paragraphs is sufficient, but you do need to reference your work so that I can, it's clear that you are reading and absorbing material that we're discussing. And then for you to respond to your colleagues is also important, and those should be substantive postings as opposed to postings that are I agree or whatever. We're going to be exploring nursing theory from the standpoint of the historical context of it, where it came from, basically looking at the roots from Florence Nightingale through current, more modern theorists. We're going to be looking at what we refer to as grand theorists or meta-theorists, mid-range theorists, and micro-theorists. Grand theorists are those big picture, big world, how we view the world folks, down through mid-range and micro theory that kind of help us guide, help guide us in terms of practice, research, and education. And so we're going to be learning about some of those differences. The required texts and materials are in the course. As I mentioned to some of you that I've been in contact with, I do not order those to the bookstore because almost always students order those through Amazon or some other alternative cheaper source, and and that's almost always easier for students. I did want to stress that there's the APA manual. That's a requirement for this course, as well as two useful websites. One is the OWL English Purdue EDU website, and the other is the apastyle.org. Those are very important and can be very helpful for you in terms of providing examples, etc., for using APA for references for materials for work that you submit during the course of this semester. When we go from module to module, each module will be open for the dates that are identified in the syllabus, and then once they close, the work for that is done, and the next module will open up and be available. So, for example, module number 2 opens June 9th, and the activities, the works, the readings, the learning materials, etc., will be available through and including June 22nd. Then that will close, and then module 3 will open. This affords us the opportunity for all of us to be engaged with the same module without people jumping ahead and then not engaging with a module that might be open. So we're going to do it that way. The assignments, most of you have been working on posting your class introduction. There was a problem linking it with a discussion, and so I changed it so that you'll be getting you'll be getting additional discussion point credits for your class introduction as opposed to just the introduction itself. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that, and I like the opportunity to learn about you and know a little bit about your background. There are 3 exams, if you will. One is a quiz. Quiz 1 is 10%, quiz 2 is 10%, and quiz 3 is 30%. Those are entirely online materials. They're entirely multiple choice. And the first quiz, that's 10%, quiz 1, will be about 30 items. They're totally based on the readings that we have in class postings, videotapes that I will be posting, PowerPoints, etc. And that first one will just emphasize historical significance of theories, significance, how theory development is processed, etc. These are open book, open notes exams, and you'll have 2 hours to do those in. So that first one is due June 22nd. The second one will be due June 29th, and is similar, only will cover different content. The newer theorists, the characteristics of them, and the same thing with borrowed theory. And again, you will have 2 hours, open book, open notes. The third one is longer. It will be about 70 items, and it will again be based on required readings, class presentations, and discussions, and the emphasis will really be on synthesizing and applying theory that we've discussed during the summer months. Again, open book, open notes, time limit this time will be 4 hours, so that should give you sufficient time. Lastly, you'll have a slide presentation due. This will be using Microsoft PowerPoint, and you will select a theorist that you're interested in that you think may be useful for your clinical practice. And there are a list of theorists at a website that's listed under the assignment that you can go to. There may be other theories that you're interested in, and that's no problem if you want to choose somebody that's different. You may choose a theorist that's been developed within nursing or a theory that's developed outside of nursing. But anyway, you need to look at developing a limit of 20 slides. And then you're going to provide some specific information that's identified in that assignment so that we can look at coming to understand that theorist and how it might be useful in your particular practice. And then lastly, as I've mentioned before, will be the online discussion where you will be interacting and dialoguing with your colleagues in regular postings. There are other policies in the class, for example, how we're grading, extra credit policy, incompletes, etc. Those are all within the course, and I would encourage you to read the course syllabus to understand those. if you have any particular questions or concerns, I would ask that you feel free to either page me or email me. The route on the syllabus is my office phone number. I check that less frequently than I check my email and or paging me. So please feel free to call me or get a hold of me. I'd rather you bug me and ask me for information rather than struggle with trying to figure out if something's acceptable or not. I know you all have busy lives and children, families, work, etc. And I don't want you wasting your time not sure of about an assignment or something as opposed to just asking me. So again, feel free to ask me about that. Now, the last thing for this first week, I was sort of stalling because the first week of this course, people are allowed to add the course almost up through today. And so that gives them time to get books and get engaged in the course. So I was just in some way sort of stalling before we got into the meat of the course. You do this week need to do some fundamental reading in the books. It's not difficult reading, but just sort of that sense of where did nursing theory come from? What does grand theory mean? Meta theory, mid-range theory, micro theory? Who are some of the big guns in our historical past? What are paradigms, meta-paradigms? What about Thomas Kuhn, K-U-H-N? You'll need to know about him. What are some of those things that are fundamental to having triggered the whole notion of theory in nursing? So I'm going to leave that with you at this point, and I will be posting on a little presentation again next week, or in Module 2, and I will do that in a few days. But at this point, I want you to just welcome you to the class. I'm excited to have you in here. I hope that you're going to love theory in the way that I do, and that we can find some useful useful means for you to apply it both into your practice as well as those of you who may be in different specialty areas such as informatics, different clinical practice areas, education, etc. So welcome to the class. Again, my name is Dr. Marie Hastings-Tolsma, and I look so forward to meeting with you. Also, I want to encourage you that if any of you are by the College of Nursing and have the opportunity to stop by, I have regular office hours, but just give me a jingle or an email and say you're going to stop by, and I'd love to have coffee with you or whatever. So welcome to the class. I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Thank you.